Hey, what's up everybody? This is Rob from DeFreeze Aquariums, bringing to you today a product from Hygger. So we're going to jump right into it. What I have for you today is Hygger's 3-in-1 internal aquarium filter. It's their model HG044-S as in Sam. So as I stated, this is a internal filter. They have two different sizes, as you see, just opening it now. What you get, you have your bio balls, you have your filter, and of course you have your instructions. So they call it a 3-in-1. Where they come up with that is two types of filtration, one bio and one mechanical. And then the third, as they say, has to do with oxygenating the water. So let's take a look at this. Looks like your parts are inside here. You have where you hook up a 3/16, if I'm not mistaken, airline. So this actually comes apart, and like I said, you're seeing it as I am. This pulls right out of the casing, just like that. So you have your holder, which also houses your air top, their suction cups, now those will go through here to suction cup it to the side of the tank. And then you have, I would say this is probably maybe just a little less than a coarse sponge. So of course, as I mentioned, 3-in-1. There you go. And then you got your sponge. So of course, this would be your mechanical. Put your sponge right in there. I rinse the bio balls up. You can see they're already causing condensation. And from the bag, they do not all fit. So you definitely don't want to jam them in there. As you can see, there's quite a few balls left over. That becomes your biological filtration. It's got your separation plate, which keeps your bio balls on top of your sponge, and then you've got your cap. Now you see there's a little rubber gasket in there, and what that does is when you put it back into the housing, it seals itself so that when the air flows through here, it stays up in the top. Like I said, it will not take them all, so I wouldn't, overload it. Test to make sure that your cap sits down flush so that you don't break anything. So now it's back together, and then you just reassemble it. Now this is all set to go. Now on the sizes, the small, this one is 1.8 wide inches by 5.4 inches high. It's good for a 0.5 or half-gallon tank up to 5 gallons. The large size is 3-inch wide by 7.3 inches high, and that one is good for a tank of 6 to 20 gallons. I will have a video coming out here in the near future showing you the large, and we'll go over that one as well. So we're going to hook it up we'll take a quick look at it, and then I'll come back and we'll wrap this up. Let's go check it out. All right, so we're going to use my empty shrimp tank. Actually, I think there are a few cories in there, baby fry, that I put the eggs in and they hatched. So this is just standard airline. Fit it right over the tube like that. As you see, this tank is filled with Sawasatang. Okay. And there it is. I would definitely recommend, when you utilize a air pump, that you put a check valve on it, just in case something happens. Now, as you saw, I can control the flow from the valve. But as with any sponge filter, you definitely need a certain amount of bubbles. You don't want giant bubbles like that racing to the surface, because it's not really helping to oxygenate the water. The smaller bubbles will carry more air up with them and better oxygenate the water. So it definitely puts out some air. And as you see, there's no air coming from anywhere but where it's supposed to. What it's doing is it's drawing the water up from here, cleaning it and putting it out. We'll turn it back down. So probably right about there. It's creating enough vacuum. It's definitely agitating the surface. I would say it's good right about there. The bubbles aren't super big. So really the only thing you hear is the bubbles. All right, there it is, working for you. There it was in the tank. What'd you think? I have to say, honestly, before I get into it, quick disclaimer, Hygger did send me these filters to try out, to present them to you and do an unboxing, so that I can try to help save you a few dollars in this already ridiculous priced hobby. You don't always have to buy name brand. In some cases, you know, somebody will say, I've got this and it's so great and it's made by so-and-so. Somebody else will say, I got the same thing, it's great, but it's made by somebody else. And if you go to that factory, to that warehouse, to whatever, those same products are being made in the same warehouse, except the brand name is getting slapped on this and we can charge you more, and the No Frills brand is getting that label, where we're going to save you money. A lot of the stuff out there, and I've seen it firsthand, not so much with the fish hobby, but in electronics and a bunch of other things, things are private label. Company paid big bucks to have their name slapped on something that 5 different companies may use. So when I say cheap, cheap as in cost, cheap is a way to save you money. I'm giving you an honest review. And the manufacturers take a risk by just sending this stuff to me and anyone else that's, you know, got a set of stones, if you know what I mean, where we're going to tell you point blank, is it worth it? Is it garbage? You know, whatever. We're not getting paid for this. So back to what I was saying. Being I'm not getting paid for this, and I'm showing you firsthand everything. There's no smoke and mirrors here. You saw, you know, they sent you bio balls that don't all fit in there. Got to make sure when you put it in, you test that top to make sure it fits tightly, but doesn't snap, or you don't hear the balls starting to grind against one another. And it's made out of plastic. It's cheap plastic. It's not like a rough and tugged, you know, phone protector type plastic. It goes in a fish tank. It's not supposed to get slammed around. I think for $13.59, it's not bad. If you're looking to start up a nano tank, you're going to use it for a hospital tank, whether it be this one for up to 5 gallons or the large, or the next size up to 20. Shrimp tanks, if you're concerned about the plates down there, as I said in the bottom, right there, just take a piece of foam and a zip strip, 2 zip strips, and zip it around. So now you've hot rodded the filter. You've also protected your investment that's swimming around in your tank, regardless of what it is, fish or crustacean. But you've also gave another surface for bacteria to colonize. So it's a win-win. But I don't really think it's needed because the way that foam fits against the shell. But I kind of like this, and I don't want to spend a lot of money on stuff. And I've seen where, you know, I've spent money on some brand name stuff, and something happens within, you know, a year's time, a few months. And you would think you spent that much money on a name brand that it should last you quite a while. It's not always the case. So I bring these to you to just give you an idea of what's out there, things that may help you. And in this video I went further because usually it's just an unboxing. You got to see it work. You got to see how easy it hooked up. Showed you how I had the valves, that I can control the amount of air coming out of it. So for that kind of money, you know, it's not really a bad deal. Well, I hope you guys like that, and I hope it gave you an option to save money and put a filter in maybe a hospital tank, maybe a shrimp tank, maybe a fry tank, whatever tank. You know, you'll save a lot of money versus some of the name brands out there, is basically what I'm saying. Like I said, same warehouse, 2 different products using the same parts. So with that, this is Rob from Hygger Aquariums. As always, take care of yourself, take care of each other. God bless. Peace.